This program, which is called Demo 14 on your CD, will demonstrate the proper syntax and structure of the if statement. The program simply uses a variable, a short integer, called number input. As you can see, it is initialized to the number 0. The program will then prompt the user to enter a number. That number is stored as the variable number input. That number will then be inserted into the if statement, which the condition is inside of the parentheses. If this condition is true, then one statement, the cout statement, will be displayed that will display the message, the number entered is positive. If, on the other hand, the condition entered is false, that is, the number input is not greater than 0, then the statement, the number entered is negative, will be displayed. Let's compile and build this program. And then execute it. When prompted for a number, I'll enter the number 5, and as you can see, it displays the number entered is positive message. Executing the program again. This time I enter a negative number, such as -7, and it will display the number entered as negative. Note that when I run this program and I enter the number 0, that the message that's returned is the number is negative. That is because in the code, the condition being checked for is if the number is greater than 0. The number 0 is not greater than itself. So therefore the else condition, or the else portion of the condition, is being executed when the number entered is 0. Of course, this condition could be phrased lots of ways. You could use the less than symbol, or you could use the greater than or equal to symbol, or the less than or equal to symbol, among other relational operators. Note also that in this case, there is only one statement being executed if the condition is true. I'll enter another line of code, such as cout, and then number, followed by the number input variable. This will cause the number entered to be redisplayed, and then the message, the number entered is positive. But you'll note that there are 2 lines of code being executed. I'll compile this program to see what happens at this point. And you'll note that I receive an error message that says illegal else without matching if. And when I double click on this, it points me to the else statement. But there's actually nothing wrong with the else statement. The problem here is that I'm performing multiple operations now when the condition is true. And you'll recall from the previous lessons that we said that when you want to execute more than one line, you need to include this in braces. So I'll type an opening and a closing brace to surround the 2 statements that I want executed. In this case, the 2 cout statements. I could do likewise for the else portion of this, but it is not required that if you have an opening and closing brace for the if statement, that you also need one for the else. So for demonstration purpose, I'll leave it as it is. Let's recompile the program to see if it's now error-free. Which it is, so we can now execute. And now, once again, I'll enter the number 4. And it tells me that the number is 4, and that the number entered is positive. So it has now displayed both cout statements that I want to be executed when the number entered is positive. If I execute one more time and enter a negative number, such as -5, it only returns the message the number entered is negative. It does not display the number again because that's not included in the else portion of the code. Here. One last comment. Notice that the contents of the cout statements, or the contents of whatever the if statements may be, is indented. This is not a requirement of C, but it does make your programs much easier to read and to debug. Also, the cout statement with the else is indented. And as mentioned earlier, it is a good idea to use a comment to indicate where the if statement concludes, so that you can simply have a visual indicator to you. This means nothing to the compiler, of course, but it lets you know that the if statement has been concluded. This program is Demo 14 on your CD.